the practical stuff, the heavy stuff. And we have a minute for, you guys want to watch one more video? Yeah, go ahead. This is one of my favorites.
I've had my ups and downs, my fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see is a body crafted to perfection. A pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics. And a mindset to master the most epic of space.
Have you guys seen this one? Yeah. It's a little old now. So this is a company, Volvo, trying to explain how amazingly precise their vehicle, their atmosphere and all that stuff is, the stability in that. And so how can you do that with words, right? Better than that. You just can't. There's just absolutely no way you can do it. The amazing thing, even more so, is that it had 72 million views, right? So this video had 72 million views. That generated over, or approximately 126 million euros of earned media. So that's what, that's getting close to $200 million of earned media. This was in a series of, I think there was 6 videos that were done of different things to showcase different aspects of the truck. That campaign, in total, I think they said cost less than $1 million to do. So outside of my budget, but look at the return, $126 million. It's unbelievable. And it's just like that Android one that I showed you at the beginning. Production cost is basically zero, so their return is even better than this from a ratio. Anyway, Power Video, it's really, really remarkable. And I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. We've got lots of opportunity, I think, to do a Q&A.
Yep.
Okay, so fire the questions and I'll answer them. Yeah.
I have no idea how things go viral other than they do.
Yeah.
But if you're creating something, like my example is the Amplomedia, has had 200 and some odd million views now, right? How can, she had no idea that's going to go viral. When you're preparing something and hoping it goes viral, how do you appropriately market it at the end of the video? What do you do what did you throw in there very subtly that all of a sudden turns into huge revenue for
They
it?
can monetize.
Yeah, like she had no idea that was going to happen. And she's been really blessed from it.
Yeah.
But good grief, if she had done something at the end of that, like how many people would have seen her message?
Yeah.
More personally, right?
Yeah, totally. So the question was, if your video does get some viral traction, how do you monetize that? And so the answer to that is call to actions at the end of the video. So it's really, really important to have a call to action. And so what a lot of our clients will do is, so we don't produce all of their videos for them necessarily. They're doing some live stuff themselves, or they're doing some just kind of selfie videos that they're creating, or they're doing some product shots, whatever the case might be. So how do you make it look professional so that you have a call to action? So what we do is we create a professional bumper, it's called. So it's the little thing that comes in the beginning of the video, oftentimes, not always, but that would be like a logo animation that comes in at the beginning for the company, the organization, and then boom, it goes to the video play. But at the back end is where it's really important to have it, and so that is, again, it's called a bumper, and it's usually, a logo animation of who we are and what our call to action, our statement is, what we want them to do at the end of the video. So click here for more information, or go to our website URL, or give us a call, and so everything that we produce has got some sort of call to action. when that video gets shared out there, it oftentimes gets detached from the source of where that video is at. So if it was originally on the website, all of a sudden it's someplace else, well, you aren't going to capture the traffic there. And so you want to do that. So if it's somebody doing a lot of YouTube videos, and so it's a content provider, then you want to usually be driving back to where the rest of your content is. So those typically are the YouTubers who are driving back to their YouTube channel or Facebook channel in some cases. Yeah. So call to action. It's all about making sure that you have call to action. Sorry, I didn't.
How are you gauging if you're appropriate? How often is too often?
Share it. Okay. So the question is, how often is too often to share a video? It's the same thing with any type of social media post, essentially, right? And so, depending on the platform, if you're in Twitter and you're sharing stuff there, you want to be sharing it at a much higher frequency than what you would say on your Facebook page. And the reason for that is that you've got only so much time there, that little narrow window of opportunity to capture the person's eyeball as they're going through the stream. And so that's where oftentimes the ads are a little bit more effective sometimes than what just the social posting of it is as far as generating traffic. And that's because you can position it in front of the person and you know they're going to see it or have the opportunity to see it. Where when you just throw it into your stream, you don't know if that person who's following your Facebook page is actually going to see it in their stream. And so if you promote it though, they will. And so then it's up to you having a good enough video that's going to capture their eyeball enough where they'll click and watch it. So what we typically will do is we will do a little bit more ad spend at the beginning to get people watching it and get them sharing it. And once they start sharing it, then what happens as well is our ad cost goes down because Facebook has something called relevancy. And so if somebody is sharing an ad that you've put in, then what will happen is they will rank it higher, and that reduces the amount that you have to bid to get it positioned in front of the next viewer. And so people start sharing it, they go, holy shit, this is a relevant piece of information that other people value, therefore we're going to show it to more people or allow more people to see it. So we do a little bit of an ad spend, get that going, and then we get other people basically acting on our behalf to continue to share that out. But from a frequency standpoint, off the hop, we're also hitting it with the social media, so we'll post it out into Twitter, once a day for the first few weeks. Potentially, again, really depends on the product, it depends on the message. On Facebook, we'll hit it once, and then what we'll do is we'll then circle back to it with some reminder posts and just draw it on that link that's back at our website. Okay? Oh, sorry, you had a question.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in sort of the decline of the newspaper industry and how they try to remain relevant through the use of videos. So they'll pump a video into their articles that you'll read online so that you're reading and looking at a video. But now there's, with Periscope and with the live feed on Facebook, they're actually doing like video, but it's not making them any money. So, like, they're trying to remain relevant, but it's not going to make them any money. And I see a lot of businesses struggling with that. Like, I'm going to do these live videos and do all of this stuff, but no way to sort of monetize that. And so I wonder how, like you said, call to action, but I'm just interested in the live video piece and how that fits into.
Okay, so the question is, how do you monetize live video, really? And the example was a lot of traditional media newspapers are including live streaming videos in within their articles and so on. So the answer there is that it's all about the traffic for those companies. So it's about trying to drive traffic, more and more traffic, who will then see ads and will click on ads, and then that's where they get their ad revenue. So they're not making money directly off of the live streaming video, they're making traffic out of that. And the traffic is the valuable piece, right? That's what they're selling. They're selling eyeballs to advertisers. And so if you're a business though, so let's move that to your own business. If you're, should you be doing a bunch of live streaming? Should you be doing a bunch of content development to drive eyeballs? Definitely, because those eyeballs are going to come to your website and hopefully get your services or purchase your services. So you're going to monetize it by attracting traffic and then converting that traffic. But the key there is you have to have some sort of thought through strategy as to how are you going to convert them once they get to your website. The problem with a lot of people, like I mentioned, is that they'll drive traffic to their website via an ad, via social posting, via whatever, and it just goes to their general website. That's not going to convert. You need a landing page that has got information that's relevant to them. And so if you can segment your customer, segment your audience, and then speak directly to that segment in the most focused way you possibly can, you're going to touch on their pain points. You're going to show them the benefit that you can provide them. And you're going to talk about that. If you're using live streaming video, you're going to talk about that in the video when you're bringing them in. And so if I'm doing a live streaming about video production, I'm not going to send them to my general landing page. I'm going to send them to a page that talks about the amazing things that we can do for them from a video production standpoint. So this audience here, I'm talking about video production. I wouldn't send you guys to my homepage. I would send you guys to a very specific page. And then I would track the hell out of that so that I know, okay, when I did this kind of a video, that generated this kind of traffic. When I did this other kind of video, it created a different kind of traffic. One is better than the other, I'm going to focus on the one that was better. Or I used it in this platform versus this other platform. So when I posted it on Twitter, I get more action out of this style of video than I do out of Facebook. Posted on Facebook. Therefore, I'm going to use more of my resources, more of my time and effort into creating it in Facebook. Right? So it's about measuring all those results. And that can get complicated for the average person to be doing that. And so I get that. I understand that it takes time if you don't have the tools that can consolidate that. But if you're not measuring it, you shouldn't be doing it, is my philosophy. Because you're just throwing away money potentially. And so, especially for those of you who work with clients, and you're doing it on behalf of clients, don't waste your clients' money. Measure it, otherwise don't do it. Okay?
My question is about how you track all that stuff. Do you use your own program, or do you use like Infusionsoft?
Yeah. Okay, so Infusionsoft is an automated marketing platform that allows you to do some lead nurturing and stuff. To send out the emails, you can track some of that stuff. So it's a pretty decent software. We use some internal stuff that we have, and we kind of mash it up with a bunch of other different applications to get in a lot better, more robust reporting and in deployment as well. And so our tracking is much more sophisticated than what you can get out of like an Infusionsoft or something like that. But Infusionsoft is a good potential starting point. Yeah. And basic tracking would be MailChimp or Constant Contact for an email campaign, right? So you can track them, opens and clicks. You're not necessarily going to be able to feed them dynamic content after that, right? So it doesn't help you with that. You have to go away, crunch the numbers, figure out what's working, what isn't, and then start to iterate off of that. But and there's lots of different kinds of software, different platforms. Facebook, I sound like a Facebook ad guy right now, but Facebook, they've got a pretty decent ad manager now that gives you some pretty good stats on what the results are there. Twitter's got a pretty decent reporting as well. All the platforms are doing not too bad in that area, but it can get really complicated and complex because there's so many different things that you should be watching. So what we monitor, we don't just monitor did this ad do better than this ad, which is called split testing, right? Which you should be doing, so we do that. But then also, at what time of day does the ads perform better? What days of the week do they perform better? What ads perform better on iPhones versus Androids? What does better on desktop? We look at all that, and then these people that we pull in the demographic information, we look at, okay, well, it seems like women between the ages of 25 and 35 who have an iPhone and are interested in Pomeranians, they seem to respond incredibly well to this particular type of placement of ad, right? And so you can get hyper detailed like that. Initially, you don't have to, but as you start to refine, it really pays off because each incremental increase, so if you're getting a 3% lift in the number of click-throughs, that has a tremendous potential impact on your end dollar return because you iterate that over a couple of times, it's compounding, right? And so then all of a sudden, you've done that a few times, you're getting 16, 20% lift over what you started with as far as the ad goes. And so it's about ad iteration creating multiple versions, seeing what works, then revise. So for instance, 2 ads, identical, one's got a blue button, one's got a green button. The green button converts better by 3% than the blue button. We're going to go with the green button, and then we're going to have 2 ads, same copy, same blue or green button, but they got 2 different images. Image A worked better than image B, we're going to go with image A. Then we're going to tweak the content. And we just keep doing that, and that's market research. That's iterating your ad, but you get live data. So instead of sitting in a focus group with a bunch of people saying, hey, if I were to position this ad to you and this ad, which one would you click on? You know, who knows what the hell, if they're going to actually click on it or not, right? This way, you get the data, and it doesn't cost you a lot. With the platforms now, you can spend $50 on Facebook and figure out which 2 ads are going to convert better. And then that's the one that you go. Test it, track it. Okay?
When I think about the room here, there's lots of nonprofits, there's people, service providers. So if someone's saying, well, okay, how am I going to build this into my year? If you were, say you're working for a nonprofit and you might be doing it yourself, or you might be hiring a small company, or you might be hiring a big company. If I was going to say, would you recommend starting small and then building all of the blocks, all of the customized pieces into it? Do you understand the question a little bit?
Yeah. So the question is, if you're a not-for-profit organization, as it sounds like there's quite a few of them in here, or even if you're a small business, and you, like, where do you kind of start? Do you build a big, elaborate campaign, or do you start with a couple small things and build from there, right?
Yeah. What's your first step if you're going to work towards having a bunch of dynamic, specialized content?
So the first step that I always tell people is they have to have a good place where they're sending people to. So again, no point in advertising if your website is shitty and you're going to send traffic to that shitty website. Well, the shitty website isn't going to convert, so again, you're wasting your time and effort and driving traffic there, right? So where you're going to drive it to has to be effective, okay? So the website should be good. If the website isn't good, the landing page at least needs to be really good. Okay? So get a really good landing page where you're going to drive that traffic to. And there's different services out there that you can get that will create landing pages that don't necessarily have to reside in your website. They can reside off your website, direct traffic back to the website. So good landing page. Start there. And then it's really about compelling content. Trying to figure out, okay, what is it that is going to convert somebody? What is it that is going to get them to say, hell yeah, I want to donate to this charity. I want to go to this charity's gala. I want to buy this product from this company. So that's the benefits. Focus on the benefits. You can talk about the features, but focus on the benefit. What's going to happen through their participation, right? So once you've identified what those are, make sure that content is somehow talked about on the landing page, and then begin working on your ads. Whether it's a video, whether it's a static ad, use that content, and then start testing out there. And so oftentimes what I will recommend to some companies when we start working with them, sometimes when we don't know what the compelling content is, and we have time, is we'll test some static stuff to see what is converting there. And then that will drive sometimes the development of the video. Oftentimes we don't have time to do that. Oftentimes we know really what it is that needs to be in there, what's compelling about the offering, and so then we'll create the video. And then from there, my first platform that I would go to, especially if I'm a charity or not-for-profit, would be Facebook. Okay, and if I'm a B2B, I'm going to be doing a little bit more on LinkedIn. I'm going to do a little bit more on Twitter. But don't be shy in using Facebook for B2B though. Okay, a lot of people make that mistake. It's like that's just all people looking at cat photos. That's all that is. No, B2B really works well in the Facebook environment as well, because you got to remember, I run a business, but I'm on Facebook, right? I see stuff, and so I get lots of different things that are business oriented, and it's okay to interrupt my stream viewing with an ad for some sort of business offering. Does that answer? Yep. Any other questions? If If you guys wanted, I have business cards up here. If you guys wanted to snag a card, if you ever had a question, definitely feel free to just reach out to me, or actually Jill is here as well. She's with Amplomedia, and so she'd be more than happy to help answer any questions you guys might have as well. Okay, thanks very much.